What's up, YouTube streets? I am Divinely a Queen of Swords, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by and tuning in. So today's video is going to be an unboxing video, okay? I got some new cards that I want to add to my reading, okay? And so I am so excited. I got them on Friday. I read through the book and I'm just in love with these cards. I am so happy. Like, I already have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 decks. The other one I haven't showed you guys yet. I've been having it for a while, but it's a little rinky dink one, but I still like it, and eventually I am going to use it on this channel. But I want to show you the cards that I got, okay? So I got the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, okay? And it comes with 65 cards in the deck and a guidebook, and it's by John Holland, okay? So this is it. I love it, okay? Like I said, I have already went through the box or whatever and read it. That's the back of it. But I love these cards already. Here's the book. Like I said, I've read through them already. I watched some reviews. I love the box. Okay, that's the inside of the box. And these are the cards. Okay. As I said before, I've already shuffled through them or whatever, but I love these freaking cards. Like, I just love the illustration on the cards. Very beautiful. If you can see them. Very nice. Love it. Love it. So being that I'm not all the way familiar with these cards yet, I'm definitely going to use the guidebook while I do my readings or whatever, just to kind of explain it more to you guys and also to get comfortable with them. So I love it. I love the pictures. So nice. Okay, so like I said, I've already shuffled them. So let's read a couple things about these cards, okay? I love them. I so love them. They are so beautiful. Like, really. I think they're going to help more with the reading so I can get more in depth and describe things more, okay? I'm drinking warm tea. So this is called the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, okay? And it's basically a oracle deck of major arcanas and minor arcanas. And also, it also talks about numerology and as well as chakras. Yeah. And like the different colors, what they mean, okay? So like the different borders of the cards represent like a certain type of feeling, emotion, okay? Like red represents like vitality and passion, okay? Green represents like compassion, love, unconditional love, okay? So, like I said, I'm definitely going to use the guidebook for a little while just to kind of get familiar with the cards, the different colors, what they represent, you know, just so that when I'm doing my readings, I'm definitely being more descriptive to help give guidance to those who need it, okay? Yeah, so like I said, it talks about the different colors, okay? And it also talks about like the different emotions and things in the cards, okay? So okay, currently happening in a person's life, okay? Okay, so the major arcanas. There are 22 major arcana cards numbered from 0 to 21. They represent the main themes or spiritual lessons that are playing out in your life, the life of the person being read at the moment, or the time frame being discussed. These cards contain strong figures, yet some of them are meant to depict the qualities of an individual. Okay, please note that the first card, Zero New Beginning, is the only card that's numbered 0 in the deck. Okay. Um, so then the minor arcana cards. The minor arcana cards are composed of 36 that are divided into 4 categories: physical, emotions, mental, and spirit. Each section has 9 cards numbered from 1 to 9. They're more representative of daily life and will describe how an individual reacts to a certain situation, the emotions involved with it, what's currently happening in the person's life, or for the time frame in question. These cards are helpful in giving direction on how to proceed and move forward. Okay, so physical, surrounded by a red border. Okay, so let's find one with the red border. So yeah, red border. Okay, so ones with like the red border, it tells you represent, this is for like business, finances, money, prosperity, earthly possessions, material gain or loss, and security. Okay, so if I pull red cards for you, that's focusing on finances, stability, material gain. Okay, prosperity, possessions, things. Okay, all right, so emotions surrounded by green. Okay, so as you can see, it has a green border around it. Okay, representing relationships of the heart, feelings, desires, emotion, love, and joy. Okay, now the mental ones are surrounded by an indigo border. Okay, let's find indigo. Yes, indigo. Okay. No, these are the violet ones. Sorry. Is it? Oh, it's right here. No. I want to say these indigos. Yeah. Representing communication, thoughts, ideas, intellect, and the workings of the mind, as well as obstacles, difficulties, conclusions, and power. Okay. And then the violets. I have a violet one. Okay. Representing the spark of life, inspiration, spiritual force, and principles. Principles. Aspirations, willpower, and passion. Okay. All right, and chakra cards. Chakra cards are the energy centers of the body, and I often refer to them as spiritual batteries. Okay. Chakra is a Sanskrit word meaning wheel. Our anatomy is a complex piece of engineering served by a network of etheric wiring through which energy flows. The chakras are the organizing centers that act as both reception and transmission points for psychic information and life energies, which are essential for the well-being of our body, mind, and spiritual development. Although there are many of these points throughout the body, for this deck, I've focused on the main 7. If one of the chakra cards is drawn, it's a reminder to be aware of that particular energy center and the qualities it represents, and apply that information accordingly to the reading of the cards or spread. You may well want to ask yourself, is this chakra energy center being affected by what's going on in my life? Okay, so that is beautiful. I like that. Okay, It also talks about, like I said, the different colors and what they represent. Okay. It talks about the different gifts that we all possess, that some people embrace, others don't. Others suppress it, okay? We all have our own spiritual gifts that we can tap into to help guide us through life. They're God-given gifts that He gives us, like that thing called intuition. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. So you have what's called clairsentience, okay? That's inner feelings, okay? We all have an inner sense of knowing. It's that good feeling. Have you ever met someone and have instantly known whether or not you're going to like this person? Yes, that is so me. Through my spiritual journey, I have learned that my gifts are clairsentience and clairvoyance, okay? And I will talk about that more on my channel. I may talk a little bit about it as I'm reading, okay? Just let me see what I feel. But anyway, have you had a strong feeling or inexplicable knowledge about something that you didn't follow, only for it to be proven correct? Next time you're about to make a decision, stop for a moment and ask yourself, how do I feel about this decision? Does it feel positive or negative, and why? By following your intuition, you'll be guided towards making better choices. So that has been the story of my freaking life, okay? I never listened to my inner self, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I think that area in my life was just blocked somehow, maybe from what I was taught or whatever growing up, but like definitely I can honestly say that that is me. Like I'm an Aquarius, okay? So I like people, but then I don't. Okay? Meaning like, so I can be around somebody instantly. Like when I meet a person, I can like kind of tell, like, depending on how they are, whatever, I can just kind of tell a few things about them, whether I know I'm gonna like them or not. I've had deja vu moments where it feels like I've seen something before or felt something before, and I never understood what that was until going through my spiritual journey within this last year and a half. Okay, so I learned that that has been a gift God has given me since I was a child. Like, I never had a big clique of friends. I never wanted to. I always like to kind of be by myself and do my own thing. I would have friends and be sociable, but to a certain extent. And I only vibed with certain type of people. Like I said, I would meet people and just know right off the back whether I vibe with them or like them or not. Okay. Never really knew that was a gift again until I started going through my spiritual journey. So I realized that is clairsentience. Okay. And I do have that gift. All right. So then you have clairaudience, which is inner hearing, where people may hear things, spirits, voices, or whatever, okay? Do you know what others are thinking? Or like, yeah, you may be like, you can mind read. So it says, do you know what others are thinking? Do songs suddenly pop into your mind? This is known as inner hearing. At first, it can be confusing when determining if these are your thoughts or intuitive knowledge. When you're outdoors, practice this skill by learning to stretch your hearing. Listen to words far off in the distance and then to ones closer to you. As you hear all of it together, listen inwardly between the sounds. This is where the intuitive information flows and can be heard. Okay? Now, I've had where, I would hear songs, or like one time when my grandmother passed away, it's like I heard her call my name one time. Like, for instance, about 10, 15 years ago, I was going through something, and I never forget, I had my grandmother's bed when she passed away. I ended up getting her bed. She had this big, fluffy, king size bed, and I loved her bed. And so when she passed, I took that. And I never forget, one day I was going through some stuff with my ex that I got out of a relationship last year, or actually in 2018. But this was the first time we were together, because we were together twice. So the first time we was together, I was about 18 to like 23, somewhere around there. 18 to 22, somewhere around there. But yeah, so I was going through something. She had cheated on me, and we were split up. And I never forget, I was laying in the bed, and I was just crying and just sad because I was lonely, and she wasn't around anymore. She had moved out and was living with her sister, and I was living by myself with my son. And I never forget, I was just so depressed and just going through some things and just crying my little heart out. And I never forget, I was laying in my grandmother's bed, and it was like I heard her call my name, and I turned. It's like I felt a presence in the room with me, and I heard her, how just like how she says my name, that nobody else says my name that way, and it was her voice, and I heard her, and I turned around, and it comforted me. It made me feel safe. And at that moment, like, I got this feeling to get up and go lock the door. So I never forget, I got up and I went and locked the door. I went and like checked my house, and my front door wasn't locked. So I went ahead and locked the door. And it was just me at home at the time. My son was at daycare. So I got back in the bed, and when I tell y'all, like a few minutes later, somebody came and they was nudging at my door, literally like trying to get in. And I got scared, and so I went to the door and I looked inside the peephole, and it was like this man standing at the door, but he had a hat on and he had his head down, and he wouldn't look into the door. And so I was just quiet. I just creeped up to the door, to the little peephole. I looked out of it, and I was just quiet, and I just watched him, and he just walked away or whatever after a while when he seen he couldn't get in. So y'all, I felt like then, like, man, that's when I knew that I learned that spirits was real, you know what I'm saying? And that we have guardian angels. And that really, I wasn't paying attention then, though, you know what I'm saying, of how connected I was to the spiritual realm already. I didn't understand it back then, because again, mind you, I think I was like 19, 20 at the time that this happened. So, I didn't understand, you know what I mean? But I was starting to see, and at that time, I went through a transformation then, an awakening then. But yeah, I still hadn't caught on. That's why I say, y'all, this unboxing may get a little real just from me reading this stuff to y'all and just sharing my experiences with y'all. But definitely, I didn't understand it until now as I'm going through this journey. But yeah, that spirit guide came, which was my grandmother, my ancestor, came to me, and I heard her voice, and it made me get up and go lock the door, which saved my life, because later on that week, my apartment complex sent out a letter to everybody. There was somebody that had been breaking into people's apartments and raping them, okay, and assaulting them. So I'm so glad. That's why I was saying I've been highly favored and protected for a long time, Never understood it. So I guess I could say I do have a little clear audience as well, maybe. Okay, so then you have clairvoyance, which is inner vision. Some people have the psychic ability known as clear seeing or clairvoyance. It's when intuitive information forms pictures, symbols, words, and colors in your mind's eye. The reception area is right between your eyebrows. To develop this gift, okay, a simple exercise that you can try is to place a small candle safely in front of you. Relax, take a deep breath, and gaze at the flame for a few minutes. Close your eyes and observe the after image. Let it fade, and then repeat the exercise. This will strengthen your third eye area. Okay. Now, I have clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is where it's an inner vision, right? So mine comes as images. So for many years, like, I used to discuss this with my ex all the time, and me and her had an understanding, and she saw it for herself and believed me about my gifts, as well as, she's from Louisiana, she has family, and she understands those things. So me and her always clicked on that level. So, I would share with her how I could be just sitting somewhere, and like, I can be fully awake and I will have a flash of images of things happening. And sometimes, like, if you're around me, I'll be chilling and just like watching TV or whatever. And then I'll be like, ooh, ooh, and instantly sometimes I pray, or I'll be like, ooh, Lord, and people be like, what's wrong, I'll be like, nothing. It's because I be seeing images of stuff like that just happens. Prime example, I never forget where, one time I was I never forget, there's this area in my city, and it's full of Hispanics, okay? And this place is like this place is very, it's full of Hispanics. It's like the Hispanic community. And it was this street called Renworth or something like that. Renwick. That's the name of the street. I never forget, one day many years ago, this was about 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, I had a dream or a vision about this street. And I never forget, I saw the street sign clear as day, and it said Renwick. And I've been born and raised in the city that I'm from, and I had never seen this street before. Okay, guys. So yeah, like I said, so I had lived in this city my whole life, never saw this street, but I had that vision many years ago, right? How about maybe 10, 15 years later, I was with my son's father, and we had moved to this area where it was a bunch of Hispanics, right? And so in the dream that I had many years ago, I went to this street called Renwick. It's hard to pronounce, Renwick. Okay. I went to this street, and someone tried to kidnap me, and it was like a Hispanic male, and he tried to kidnap me. And I had a dream that, like, I was going to be like, there was going to be like what we call now an Amber Alert out and everything, and people were going to be looking for me if I went on this street. So I used to always avoid it, right? Like, I would always look at street signs or whatever like that. This was like when I was a kid, okay? Like 10 years later, me and my son's father, we're together. We're going down this road, and there it is, Renwick. And it was in an area with a bunch of Hispanics. I was like, oh my gosh, I will never ever come over here, and I could, even back then, and I told him about my dream that I had when I was younger, and he was like, weird, okay? So yeah, so I've learned that I have that gift, okay, which is inner vision, okay? And so, like I said, they have the different colors here. So red resembles, symbolizes vitality, passion, temper, strength, survival, hard work, and leadership. And it's associated with the root chakra, the base. Okay, so then the orange symbolizes creativity and joyous emotions. Orange is about spreading happiness and joy, emotional pleasures, and vitality, also connected to it. Orange is also associated with the sacral chakra. Okay, so yellow symbolizes wisdom, mental force, curiosity, insight, intuition, and sensitivity. Yellow is associated with the solar plexus. Green symbolizes love, health, balance, compassion, and nurturing nature and abundance. It both calms and refreshes your energy and is a sign of renewal and growth. Green is associated with the heart chakra. Then we have blue. Blue symbolizes communication, speech, expression, imagination, and freedom. Blue is associated with the throat chakra. Throat. Okay. Chakra. Indigo symbolizes wisdom and perception as well as vivid imagination. Indigo is associated with your third eye. Violet symbolizes wisdom, beauty, inspiration, creativity, and enlightenment. It's one of the most spiritual colors. Okay, violet is associated with the crown chakra. Okay, and that's why I love that my birthstone is amethyst. Okay. White symbolizes truth, innocence, and purity. Brown symbolizes earth, dependability, stability, and humility. Black symbolizes protection, independence, and mystery. Gold symbolizes spirituality, compassion, prosperity, and wisdom. Okay, and it has the numerology meanings here, which I so love because it breaks down the numbers and the meanings. And again, you definitely need to, if you don't have it, you need to get your natal chart. Okay, you need to know the city, of course, your birthday that you were born in. Okay, you need to know the city you was born in. You need to know the time you was born, the exact time, and of course your birthday. Okay, to get your natal chart. Okay, so definitely get that. But I understand now why I always like the number 4 and the number 6, and it definitely represents me. Okay, so real quick, I am going to go through the numerology meanings. And yeah, so numerology is an ancient system that interprets the meanings of numbers and dates, as well as the numeric value of letters. Every number vibrates to its own frequency and wavelength, and by understanding this, you'll become more aware of the patterns and cycles in your life. Numerology was a contributing source in the divinatory meanings of the tarot cards when they were created long ago. When you're reading for yourself or others, take note if the same number appears on other cards in the spread. If so, consider its symbolic meaning when interpreting what the cards are trying to tell you. There are 22 major arcana cards and 36 minor arcana cards, the latter of which are divided into 4 groups and are numbered from 1 to 9. When using numerology in your readings for the 22 major arcana, change double digits into single ones by adding them together. For example, the number 16 would be represented as 1 6 equals 7. This enables you to interpret the meaning of the single number. For this case, you'd examine what the number 7 symbolizes when diving the minor arcana. Just use the single number of the card that's drawn. I've listed the basic meanings of the following numbers. So here are the basic meanings. 1 is beginnings, initiation, leadership, self-courage, and willpower. 2 is for balance, duality, partnership, choices, oppositions, reflection, diversity. 3 is the Trinity, harmony, union, expansion, advancement, enthusiasm, and birth. Okay. 4 is structure, foundation, realization, stable situations, and planning. Okay. 5 represents change, uncertainty, realignment, inconsistency, freedom, and travel. 6 harmony, appreciation, self-sacrifice, loyalty, and responsibility. 7 is spirituality, inner awareness, mastery, wisdom, insight, success. And 9 represents completion, endings, accomplishment, transition, understanding, and service. Okay? It's beautiful. I love these cards. I can't wait to use them in the reading, guys. Thank you for stopping by and tuning into my channel. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a video. Follow me on Instagram at Divinely a Queen of Swords and Drea's Corner, and follow me on YouTube at Drea's